What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the PGL battles. Now, I know that I had one last week, but that was a preseason game. It didn't matter whatsoever. It was more of like a for fun type thing. I did get hacked out, so I'm kind of glad I got that out before the season started. It's just a kind of a relief for me. Now, as you can see, this is a post-com battle. I want to start out by apologizing. I did live com this, however, I turned 14 about halfway through the game. My computer is completely shut off. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea why it happened, but it was frozen for about 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh hey, I hate you, bye, and it completely turned off on me, and it stopped my recording, and I had no way of doing it because it was off for a good 10 minutes, and by that time the game was almost over. So that was pretty rough. So I'm having to live com this week. I'm going to try to make them live com. I'm having to post comment this week, but I'm going to try to make them all live comms. Jesus, words are difficult. However, if you do not know who I'm going up against, I'm going up against True and the Boston Silk Scarfs. He is a very, very, very scary opponent. This is his 4th season in the PGL, so he definitely knows what he's doing. He knows how to draft in this style, so I was really worried in this game. I have an entire team builder dedicated to what my team is and what it entails and why I have everything. So there will be a link to that down in the description. Make sure you guys go check that out if you have not yet. But taking a look at his team, he brought a lot of scary things that I didn't really expect him to bring, honestly. He brought, well, I mean, I expected him to bring him. I just thought that other things might come more. So he brought Entei, Shaman Sky, which, by the way, I've never seen it on Wi-Fi, and it looks really freaking weird. Mew, Umbreon, Mega Scizor, and Conkeldurr. Now, looking at his team, leads I thought that might happen were Shaman Sky, maybe Entei, maybe Mew to get up rocks, something of that nature. But his only rock setter is Mew, and he has a Defogger and Scizor, so one of them has to be Defog, and that's good for me. But I knew right off the bat when I looked at his team, I was like, okay, he's going to try to just blow through me with Conkeldurr and clean up late game with Shaman Sky. So let's go ahead and hop into the game and see how it went. As you can see, True is issuing the challenge, and he is going to lead off with his Dirty Dan, which is the Conkeldurr. Now, that might not seem like a huge deal. However, the one thing I have no switch-ins in my entire team is this Conkeldurr. So I have to U-turn out right away. I have nothing I can do. But what I need to do is I need to get some good chip damage off on this thing to prevent it, or to make it die from like a Draco Meteor or V-Create. I also need up my rocks because he has 2 things that are going to take a lot of hazard damage, and that's really important. He's going to knock off my Gligar as a Violate as I switched it in. I knew it was coming, but I need up my rocks right here. I set up my rocks, and I figure he's going to Ice Punch me and kill me. He's going to take a very, very, very early 5-6 lead. However, Gligar's only goal this entire game was to get up rocks, and that's pretty big that it actually did what it came to do. So now I'm going to go into my Rotom, and I'm going to Volt Switch to try to scout and see if this thing is AV or not. It is AV, judging by that damage. And I'm going to now go into another not switch in that I have to this thing, which is my Vaporeon. This thing is there to take on Entei, but I'm having to basically let my Vaporeon die to Conkeldurr, so that's less than ideal. He's going to Drain Punch me, get a lot of health back, and I'm like, well, I need to get good chip damage off on this thing. And by good chip damage, I mean like a toxic type of chip damage. So that's exactly what I go for. I go for toxic. I don't care if he's Guts. I don't care if he kills me here. I do not care whatsoever. My main goal is to make sure that I can get this thing in a range to where V-Create kills it. He's not Guts. It looks as though he is Iron Fist, so that's pretty important. And he's going to be taking a lot of toxic damage here pretty soon, and that is very key to put him in range of V-Create. He is going to get hurt by the Toxic, which is pretty cool, and now he's going to go for the Mach Punch. And I figured I would die from this, but it turns out I live it on 14 HP. I go for the Scald, and I put this thing in range of V-Create after the poison damage, and that is awesome. I'm at a range of HP to where if he wanted to Drain Punch next round, it's not that, next turn, it's not that big of a deal. He wouldn't be out of range of V-Create, so he is just going to Mach Punch right here and take out my Vaporeon without taking another Scald, and that was a pretty good play on his part. I was considering saving this thing and hopefully trying to wish up against the Umbreon. However, if he had predicted that switch and gone for a knockoff on my Victini or my, my Jirachi, it would have been bad. So I'm going to go into my Victini, and he is going to switch out into his Uncle Iroh, which is the Entei. Now right here, I kind of expected him to sack off his Conch, even though he needed it for Mach Punch on my Hydreigon. So I did just go for the Zen Headbutt right here. It does a lot of damage, however it does not kill from the next one. So what I decided to do was, instead of assuming what he was going to do, I clicked U-turn. Since he's banded, I was going to outspeed him. If he went for Stone Edge or Sacred Fire or anything like that, I could play around that a little bit better. But if he went for Extreme Speed, I could take it and then go into Rotom to kill it afterwards, and that's mainly what I was going for right there. I knew I would outspeed it no matter what. He's going to go for the E-Speed right there, and it's not going to do more than like 55%, so that's kind of key because I need to try to keep this thing healthy for the Shaman Sky Seed Flare, but that's just in the back of my mind. It does about 40%. So right here, I go into my Jirachi, and he is going to go into his Mew, and that's actually not too bad for me. I get to U-turn out on it, and that means that it's going to be taking a good amount of damage. I find from that it's a bulky-ish variant. It's not like a full-out offensive, and that's pretty key, actually. That means that I don't have to worry about a whole lot. So right now I'm going to go to my Hydreigon, hopefully threaten it out with a Dark Pulse, which is actually really cool. He's going to go for the Heal Bell and heal the Toxic off on his Conkeldurr. Now, while that might seem like a big deal, it's not a big deal, because his only thing that he can actually gain a lot of health back on Drain Punch is my Hydreigon. So as long as I make sure that Hydreigon isn't in against it, I should be fine. I'm going to go for the U-turn. He actually stayed in, and I do a decent chunk of damage. I could have killed him with a Dark Pulse right there, which was a little depressing that I kind of over-predicted a little bit. But now I'm going to go into my Jirachi. Now, reason being, I can tank any hit. I figured he was probably going for like a Drain Punch or an Aura Sphere, so I was like, Jirachi can take it the best, and I'm going to be able to threaten it out with a U-turn. So right here, he's going to go into his Umbreon, and I'm going to click U-turn. He can do basically anything at this point in time. He can Foul Play me, and it'll do a lot of damage to my Jirachi. He can do it to my Victini, and it'll kill my Victini. So there's a lot that he can do, so I needed to U-turn on out, get out of here, and go into my Hydreigon. Basically force him to either switch out or wish up. So I'm going to go into my Hydreigon right here, and he's actually going to go for the Curse. Now, this is a little bit scary, but I still have both of my Trick Scarf users in the back, so as long as I can get in one of them, I can trick it a Choice Scarf and make it a lot less threatening. Lock it into Foul Play. Once it's locked into Foul Play, I can kill it with Hydreigon after a couple hits with Flamethrower. If I lock it into a setup move, I can kill it with my Rotom. So there's a lot that I can do at this point in time. So what I do is I U-turn on out. I'm not super worried about it, and I'm going to go into my Rotom, because if he went for a Foul Play right there and killed my Jirachi, I could have lost the entire game. So since he went for a Wish right here, it's actually kind of good that I'm in with Rotom, because now he knows he can live a Leaf Storm. He's Spadef, and he's above 50%. He can live a Leaf Storm, so I'm going to go for the Trick, expecting him to Curse up again and not go for Foul Play. And he is now going to take the Choice Scarf and be locked into, hopefully, Curse. I do get the leftovers, and he does go for the Curse. So what that means is that now I can say, and I can just spam Thunderbolt until this Umbreon goes down, and that's basically what I intend to do. Because right now, Rotom does not have a key role in this game anymore. It tricked a Choice Scarf, and now it does not outspeed the Shaman Sky, so now I have to rely on hitting it with Iron Heads and Fire Punches from my Jirachi, which is a little scary. So he's going to go into his Magnolia, which is the Shaman Sky, as I did just in fact go for the Thunderbolt, and now it is definitely in range of a Fire Punch from my Jirachi. So since I went for the Thunderbolt, he's now in range to die from rocks when he comes back in, which is actually really cool. He's going to go for the Air Slash right here. Now, I can actually live this, and I do live it on 9 HP. I go for the Thunderbolt, I don't get flinched by Serene Grace, and I kill the Shaman Sky without it doing anything to my team. That is crazy for me. I'm really happy with that. However, now I'm in range to die from Conkeldurr's Mach Punch. Conkeldurr is running through me. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm actually just going to sack off my Rotom, because as I said before, it doesn't play a huge role now. However, he did not go for Mach Punch, he went for Knockoff, expecting me to stay in and save this thing. So the Conkeldurr is going to be taking a lot more damage because of the Thunderbolt. So now that it is at a very low amount of HP, I can kill with a Fire Punch, which is insane from my Jirachi. Or I think it's a roll to kill it with Fire Punch, judging by the damage that it had taken before. He's going to go back into his Manny, which is the Umbreon, and now as long as I don't get the burn on this Fire Punch, I'll be pretty good to go because Synchronize will burn me back. So I'm going to go for the Fire Punch. It does a decent chunklet of health, and I'm actually really happy with it, but that's because it's a crit. Don't really know how much the crit matters because this is a Choice Scarf Umbreon. It's kind of a little useless. I'm going to go into my Hydreigon just in case he decided to go for the Foul Play. And right here, I have nothing stopping me from spamming Flamethrower. Anything that comes in dies from the Flamethrower, along with does not get the Wish recovery. So that is very important. So he's going to go into a Scizor, and as I said, I just clicked Flamethrower because everything dies and would not get the Wish up. So the Scizor is just going to go down, not even going to get a chance to Mega Evolve because I just get to kill it with a Flamethrower. So right now I'm taking a little bit more Life Orb recoil. He's going to go into his Mew, and as you can see, after Rocks, he would have died from the Flamethrower, but I just get to kill it with a Dark Pulse now. So this thing is just late game. He has nothing to take this thing on, and that's important. So now, taking another round of Life Orb, and what I think he's doing is I think he's trying to put me in range to die from a Mach Punch because it does about 60%, and it's currently a roll. So I think what he's trying to do is trying to make it so I take myself down to a range of Life Orb to where Mach Punch definitely kills me. I'm going to drop the Draco Meteor on the Umbreon, and it's barely going to miss out on the KO, just barely. However, he's in range to die from anything else, so if he wanted to Foul Play right here, he would die from another hit. If he wanted to go for, say, a Wish, like he did, he dies from this Flamethrower, and nothing is going to get the Wish recovery, and that is very key. So the Umbreon is going to go down, and Hydreigon just putting in the finest of work. So now, Dirty Dan is going to come back in. He can kill me with a Mach Punch. I want to preserve differential. I want to get a big win, and right now I can win 3-0 depending on his prediction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Jirachi. And I go into my Jirachi as he is going to in fact click the Mach Punch and not be able to 2-hit KO me. Now this just means that I get to win with my Jirachi by clicking Fire Punch. As you can see, the Mach Punch, even a crit, wouldn't have killed me. Or I'm sorry, I get to kill him with the Iron Head, and the Conkeldurr goes down. Finally is the last mon to go down, and I end up winning 3-0. Now, a couple of things that I want to talk about since the game is now over and I'm not rushing to keep up with it. So, at the end, I went into my Jirachi over my Victini because if he had gone for knockoff, or say he went for like, I don't know, like an Earthquake or something like that, if he had killed my Jirachi, I still would have been able to go into my Victini at the end and kill it. If he had killed my Victini and say he got up enough damage or whatever, for whatever reason, I wanted to make sure I had the safe switch in of Victini to kill it. Even though it was pretty much guaranteed that I won that game because of how low it was, I still thought that no matter what happened, no matter what went wrong, Victini was a definite win. Just as a backup type thing, you know, it just kind of made more sense to go into Jirachi than Victini. But overall, I came from a 4-6 losing spree, like losing matchup differential type thing, to winning 3-0 and sacking off my Vaporeon and Gligar in the beginning. I think was actually very good because those walls kind of sort of stopped my momentum. Gligar wouldn't have as much because it did have U-turn, but I think Vaporeon really stopped my momentum this game and kind of allowed him to just get a foothold on me and really get ahead of me. So once they were dead, I was able to just Volt Switch, U-turn, and put things in range to die from Victini, and he knew that, and I think that's what ended up bringing me back the game. So overall, if he had brought Suicune though, I probably would have fought to save my Vaporeon a little bit more for Haze, just in case, but it's neither here nor there. But that is the game. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like down below before you go. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, I'm really sorry that this is a post-com. I really tried to make it live com, but I can't control my computer. Sorry about that. I got a message from someone that actually really pissed me off, so I had to kind of had to deal with it. But anyway, make sure you guys go check out True's channel before you go. I hope you guys did enjoy, and his links will be down in the description down below. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.